What's going on? What's the word? What's the word? Happy snow day, Abby. Happy snow day. This weather outside is crazy right now. I said, how you doing? Can you not hear me? Oh, my volume was down. Can you hear me better now? Yeah, my volume was down. How's it going with you tonight? We sitting over here in sub degree temperatures. Where you tapping in from, Abby? And we went from 13 down to 1. Yeah, it is. Where you at right now? I'm in the state of Michigan. It's about to be 3 a.m. It's prime time. I know you at home. You know what I was asking. What state are you in? If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. I was just trying to see where the snow is falling around the map. Because it's cold here, flying doorknob. Is it cold where you at? You guys ain't very talkative tonight, huh? Just one-liners? You know, my sister's, she's in the mountain time area. You know what I'm saying? The mountain time area, when I asked her earlier today, she said it was 40, 45 degrees or something like that. Almost 50 degrees. I dang near got upset. I'm like, 50 degrees? I'm like, 50 degrees? Man, what kind of shit is that? With no snowfall at all. Taylor, what it do? Tyler, how you doing? How you doing, sir? It's 3. I got my coffee. I call it my yak. I got my cup of yak. Then if I reach over here, I got my smart water. I'm ready to go. Fresno in the house. I haven't been to Fresno in a very, very long time, man. I used to be up that way though. I used to be up in the Fresno area. I feel like we talked before. Yeah, I had to be up. You know, this demon hour, this when the demons like to be up, running the streets and shit. That seasoned concoction was fire. Oh, you like that, huh? Well, you know what? I had to tell the people what it was. I had to let the people know that, I can't just be cooking and not showing y'all what I'm using. Slate says all he get in these live streams is motherfuckers reading cards, people with face tattoos, and people going at it with the trolls. What is live stream supposed to be about? You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. Slate, my live stream is about interacting with people with some positive news we could use and getting to my watch hours. Absolutely, Abby. I highly appreciate it. You know, I talk about whatever though, man. We could be talking about the news in Minnesota. We could talk about how a lot of people with money in America are buying Venezuelan money. Bet y'all didn't know that, huh? Oh, absolutely, man. They got people with money swapping out American currency with Venezuela currency. I'm trying to figure out why. Dude said you could spend $50 and get 3 million Venezuelan dollars. And that's because the price of their dollar finna go up. But right now, since it's down, if you go to the United States currency exchange and swap your money out, even $100 a week, and just sit on that money, when it goes up, you can turn it back in for 3, 4 times the price. They say they were shipping heroin over here. I don't think that's why. Nah, nah. Venezuela is known for their oil reserves, bro. They got more oil pound for pound than the Middle East, than Saudi Arabia, than the whole Emperor Empire. Where did Burger King come from? You know, Burger King is a it's an original hamburger shop. I forgot what state it's in, but the original Burger King is still standing. But they not the Burger King that we see is not the same as the original one. It's two different Burger Kings, right? And Burger King got a court order to where can't no Burger King operate within like 100 miles of the original location, right? So if you go out there, you ain't gonna find no Burger King at the original location. But if you want to know where the original location is, all you got to do is look it up. Luke Anderson said, I came in hearing about Burger King, but why does guy look like he's serious? That's because I am serious. I don't come to play, I come to win. But another thing about me is I don't eat Burger King. I don't eat McDonald's, Wendy's, Five Guys, none of that shit. There's something about the North Pole and that Greenland shit. It's about meeting the top three continents. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation on why America wants to absorb Greenland, and I believe like what you said, if we can put a base up there, we can't get attacked from either side of the planet. That's why Trump was talking about also absorbing Canada, because you know how much real estate Canada got that's untapped. It's a big empty space up in Canada, bro. Big empty ass space, like Alaska, niggas. It's a big empty place. Do I eat Burger King 3 days a week? Stacy, that sounds disgusting. Who eats Burger King 3 days a week? Are you trying to harm yourself intentionally? And Hitler wants me to name a country with better food than Nigeria. You know what? I never tried Nigerian food, man. I never tried Nigerian food, but man, my face is oily. But I wouldn't mind trying Nigerian food. I heard their food is better than, let's say, Kenya's food, or their food is better than Congolese food. I ain't never ate no African food, man. Here in Detroit, they got a Nigerian food truck that be parked, but bro, I don't eat off of food trucks, man. I don't eat off a lot of people's shit anymore, man. What's the one with the oxtail? Man, Jamaican spots be serving oxtail. There's a spot out here called the it's called the Jamaican something is called, but they got like this little meal where you can order oxtails with rice. I ordered a few times, but they oxtails like small as a quarter. And then they got this Jamaican barbecue chicken. That's probably the best one for me. Like that's some shit I can eat 3 times a week. They barbecue chicken with rice, and then you get like some cabbage on the side, like a little bit of cabbage, but it's flavored cabbage, man. That shit is good. Oh, it's called Jamaican Pot here in Detroit. Look that place up, man. And you'll be able to see their menu. It's called Jamaican Pot. They alright, but like You can't trust nobody, to be honest, man. Especially with your food, man. You know, here in the near future, you're gonna start seeing sickness on the rise coming from these restaurants. People getting sick, people passing mysteriously. Nobody investigating it. Watch what I tell you, man. Motherfuckers better stop going to these places trying to eat all over town. You better go to the grocery store, learn how to cook that shit yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can make some Jamaican jerk chicken in my kitchen and it'll be smacking like the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Messing around with me, you ain't even gotta go to the restaurant. You can come to the house. I do the research, man. I'm gonna do the research. I'm gonna go buy all the spices and the ingredients that I need. I'm gonna study the recipe and then I'm gonna recreate it with my own twist on it. You ain't gotta come to the house. I'm just saying, like, this is what I practice because I don't trust fast food restaurants. It ain't the restaurant, it's the people that work back there. You can't trust nobody. You walk in there, somebody sprinkles some shit in your food, and now you all at the emergency room trying to figure out what happened to you. Not me. And then, even when I go shopping at the grocery store, I'm strategic, sticking and moving, looking at the people in the aisles that I'm in like they suspects in a crime. Like, why are y'all in the same aisle at the same time, bro? That shit is suspect to me, man. When I hit an aisle, I like to hit an aisle that ain't nobody in, right? Luke says, I agree that restaurant Boofy is an STD, says Pooh, go to that grocery store. Yeah, you know. Neo, how you doing tonight, bro? Mike is in the vicinity. Neo says that Mike is close by. Mike is a snitch. Mike has a $35,000 hit on him, but nobody seems to know Mike. They know he always close by. Nobody ever knows where he's at. Yeah, look, I don't mess around with this fast food stuff, man. It just ain't safe out here like it used to be, man. You gonna go to a spot and they gonna have ICE serving you your food, talking about they gonna call your order and you gonna come up to pick it up and they gonna want to see your ID to make sure you an American citizen. You gonna get iced out right there at the restaurant. Streamer, you ain't. I'm not even finna try to say that. You gonna have to rewrite that, Luke Anderson. You gonna have to rewrite that, Uncle Luke. You know, it's a lot of shit going on in the world right now, bro. It is shit going on everywhere. Like, what is really going on? Abby says, random thing. Do you have anything concocted? Or do you have anything crocheted? Or someone that crocheted? Do you know crochet? I know what crochet is, but I like what I look like crocheting something, man. I crochet your face. Hello, Jesus Christ wanted me to tell you that he loves you with an everlasting love and he wants you heart and full attention. He said he's coming back soon. He died. Well, you know what? That's what they say, bro. Young, that's what they say. I don't know about that though, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. I don't even want to get into the talk about Jesus returning. But let me ask you this though. If you or your father went somewhere and the place that you was at, the people beat you, persecuted you, and then sacrificed you in front of your dad, do you think that you or your father would be returning to that place again? I don't. I don't see how it would even make sense to say something like that. So you gonna get sacrificed and then go back to the same place where they did it 3,000 years later, where people are worse than they were the first time? Why would Jesus come back here? Christians be like, I love Jesus, I'm going to heaven, yet over half doing their own thing. Yeah, you know what, man? Listen, develop your own personal relationship with God, bro. Talk to Him, be honest with Him. I don't give a fuck if you did some fuck shit and you know it was some fuck shit. When you talk to God, you gotta speak that shit out loud to Him and say, God, I did some fuck shit that I'm not proud of. I'm begging for forgiveness. I'm begging that you have mercy on me. And I'm going to try each day to make sure that my heart is as light as a feather. Because on my last day on earth, I do not want to be judged harshly for not living the way that you intended for me and all the rest of us to live. And you can repeat that type of shit every day without ever stepping foot in a church, man. You know, you don't have to like go to church to speak to God. Man, you can speak to God while you're driving, sitting on the bus, walking down the street, sitting on the toilet, taking a shower, playing a video game. You could talk to God anytime you want, man. I could be talking to y'all and in my mind talking to God about all kinds of stuff, man. But another thing about me is I don't ask God for anything other than stuff like understanding, wisdom, knowledge, improvement, and you know, stuff that will enlighten me, man. What's going on, Uncle Luke? Real question. I'm waiting. What's the real question? I'm gonna give you the real answer. How do you forgive God for sending 7 out of 8 people to hell for not believing? Hey, man, atheism is at an all-time high, bro. That's all you need to know. Atheism and Satanism is at an all-time. It ain't never been more non-believers and Satan worshipers in the world than there are right now today. It's like all you got to do is whisper in someone's ear and they'll turn away from God because people are used to results. And because a lot of individuals feel like God doesn't give results on their timeline, then they're just going to not believe in them. I think it's wild how people think. I think that when they told us that America dumbed us down, they was not bullshitting. They dumbed Americans all the way down to the point where all we want to do is be greedy, be gluttonous, and spend money. Money that we don't even got, you know? But you know what? It is what it is, right? You got an American mindset. Many countries believe I'm their God and think the same thing. Oh, believe in their God. Yeah, I believe in God. I definitely believe in God, man. But I'm not affiliated with any religion, man. I'm a non-participant. Like I said, I ain't a Christian. I like to look at myself as spiritual, which there's a lot of people out there that look at themselves as being spiritual individuals. But you know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But I tell you this: when God created the world, He didn't create a group of people and say, "You guys are with me. The rest of those people are the ops." God didn't say no shit like that. So if you decide that you want to be a Christian, do your thing. But me, we don't do the whole religious cult thing. We ain't on that. If you a part of a religious group, you a part of a cult. And them motherfuckers be going out and clashing with each other. And I didn't see Christians burning Bibles. I didn't see Muslims. We know what Muslims be on. I don't even want to put it out there, but like, every group come with their problems, right? And every group come with their alleged solutions on what the next individual should be doing. And I'm like, listen, man, do me a favor, everybody, Mr. Religious people, stay the fuck away from me, man. Okay? I'm the type of individual to go get a boat and go way out in the water and not deal with anybody, man. Like, I don't want to hear nobody's shit. I don't want to hear no one's testimonies unless they willing to hear mine and we can have a respectful conversation. Otherwise than that, I'm a free agent, bro. Yeah. And ain't nothing wrong with that because there's people that don't participate in politics because they know that politics are like Hollywood. They're not real. They're just some shit we do in America to make it look like we're official and to make it look like we do things by the book. But the deeper you look, the deeper you see that politics don't really do anything by the book. If you can see, then you will know. Some people don't see because some people don't know. Some people don't care to know. Some people just follow shit with blind faith, which is another thing to me that's crazy. How the hell are you out here following shit that you know nothing about for real? And then you got the nerve to follow it with blind faith without even questioning anything that these motherfuckers is doing? No. Listen, Republicans, cult. Democrats, all that shit is cult shit, man. Anytime you follow some big movement of something, unless it's just like like the Pokemon hunters, okay, that's not a cult. Those are just idiots. But like, whatever though. I think Christians specifically be looking at the most mass preached message while ignoring science, humanity, every other religion which is man-made. Yeah, 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 absolutely. That is correct, right? But the thing is, Luke, is when it comes to, hey, where you at and Sunset Bunny, what's the word on the curb? How do I drive in the snow and ice? Man, you better drive real careful. I know that. But Luke, check it out, man. People out here honestly just wanting to be a part of something, man. Right? That's how street gangs were developed. Street gangs came from people just wanting to be a part of something bigger than themselves. That's how politics ended up. That's how religion ended up. People just want to be a part of something. You dig? And that's all right. If that's how you look at the world and you feel like you just gotta be affiliated with something and you gotta stand for something, the only thing is motherfuckers is dumbed down. So they just go with the crowd on shit. They just go with the crowd, bro. They don't I don't have a point, man. I already made my point. My point is I ain't religious or political, right? So when you come and talk to me, just understand that we can talk about shit freely because I'm not going to try to drill nothing into your head about, my viewpoints or, what you should do based on what I do, right? That's not what this channel is ever going to be about. We exchange ideas. And I'm going to tell you this too. If you got a good idea for me, then I'll listen to it. And if I got a good idea for you and you like what I'm talking about, then I would expect that you would listen to it. You can consider it. That don't mean you got to change your whatever you got going on, change your program to start, oh, I'm gonna jump on T's program. Now you ain't gotta do that, but like we gonna meet up right here to exchange those ideas, you know what I'm saying? To because I'm gonna tell you, like, right now, bro, life is a practice and it will never be perfected, right? There's too many things out there to believe in. It's too many things out there to be a part of. So all you could ever do is practice life. And God knows that, right? God ain't blaming you for practicing life because God knows we out here practicing life. You can't perfect it. There ain't no roadmap to the way you supposed to live or what you supposed to do. It's just the common knowledge for most, you know, individuals with integrity and morals understand that it's better if you be a good person. You know what I'm saying? It's better if you operate with a moral compass and out of integrity instead of being on demon time or feeling like you gotta like manipulate your way through life or manipulate and backdoor every person you come across just because you feel like you better or you more slicker than them. You know what I'm saying? And you do that type of shit, then you know, most people understand, like I'm saying though, that, just be a good person. And I say that too, because I say this. Hey man, it take less energy to be a good, down to earth person than it does to be a manipulator, a backstabber, a betrayer, a hater. It take way more energy to be a hater, bro. To be an untrustworthy individual. And it don't even take a lot of energy to just wake up every day and just do good. Just you ain't even got to do good. You just don't do bad. What's going on, Jay Biggs? You just you just ain't got to do bad. You just wake up each day and just live your life without hurting others, without getting over and doing foul shit, right? That's all you got to do, man. Just don't do a bunch of foul shit, and I think that you will be a living testament to God's plan. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. It ain't even, see, the thing about us is we like to make everything difficult. You could look at our government and see that. We're living in a time where everything becomes extremely difficult for no damn reason. It's just everything, is hella difficult. Even the simplest shit becomes difficult because everybody is high paid and gets the right to put their input. And ultimately, what it ends up being is we're living in a society where you got all these people at the top who want to be important. So whenever like some new thing comes along, right, they all want to put their little part in it. So by the time everybody's done putting a little part in a program, it's hella difficult and hard to understand and you got to do all this shit. Whereas if just one person could take care of everything with their team, put some rules and regulations down, Shit would be simple. Life would be simple. Religion would be simple. Understanding everything about how to live would be simple. Think about just simple shit like going and buying a house. How difficult is it to go buy a house right now? How difficult is it to maintain a home? First of all, let's start at the point where even after you buy a home, you don't even own that fucking home. Same with a car. You buy a brand new car and you get the title. That's not saying it's yours. That's saying that it's yours until we want to come take it from you, right? It's extremely difficult, right? So it's like the trickle down effect takes place throughout every area of life, all the way down to like just a basic ass job. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just difficult because everybody wants to have a say so. You remember the old saying, all these chiefs and not enough Indians? That's the problem right there. We got all these chiefs and not enough Indians, you know? And so it is what it is though, bro. It is what it is though, bro. But just keep that in mind though. Live life the way it makes you comfortable, and if getting over and manipulating people makes you comfortable, then that's what you go out and do. That's what you go out and do, man. But just know this, hey man, there's still consequences for everything that we do. There's consequences that are good and there's consequences that are bad. All consequences ain't bad, but like there's consequences to everything. So you know, people think that they see, the thing too is like we're living in a world now where people love to get over, especially if they get away with it. That's why it's so many scammers. That's why it's so many robbers and serial unalivers, because people get over and get away with it and they just think they gonna always get away. But I be telling people, listen, man, there's consequences to everything. And I believe in my mind and my heart that your ass is gonna get judged by God Himself and His disciples. The same way that if you get caught down here on earth, your ass is going to court. And you're gonna have to sit in front of the judge and answer for your crime or crimes. It's the same because we got like this, like everybody has it, right? We got like this spiritual connection to the higher realms. So everything we think and everything we do at an instinct is kind of connected to above, so below. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're still spiritual creatures at the end of the day, right? And with that being said, it's like all of our ideas and everything we think about, it's connected to the higher realms. Where you think we got all this knowledge and wisdom from? How you think we built this modern society? You know, this wasn't just no random shit. Why you think you live in a house or an apartment or you drive in a car? This shit wasn't random. These were thoughts that were put in our minds by a higher realm, right? And so, long story short, when you get in trouble here, you got to go to jail and then go to court. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same in the higher realm. So all this getting over you think you doing right now, a lot of people too, man. Especially these cult motherfuckers, they get away with a lot of stuff, man. And they feel like they're never gonna be judged or they'll just never have to answer for none of that shit. Which, hey, man, it's all right. Everybody don't gotta be exactly the same. That would be weird, anyways, wouldn't it? If everybody drove the same car, everybody lived in an identical home, every single neighborhood around the world looked the same. Like, imagine that. You everybody had the same exact tree in their front yard. Like you look down the block and every tree looks exactly the same because we this is hypothetical. We live in a world where um everything and everybody is always exactly the same. So there ain't no good or no bad because everybody does the same thing. That would be weird, right? So everybody's different for a reason because somebody's watching. I don't know who the fuck's watching, but I know that the fact that everybody is different, everybody's got free will, and everybody does what the fuck they want to do. There's a higher power somewhere that's watching what everybody's doing, right? And I believe we getting graded. We not getting judged. We just getting graded, right? A lot of people believe that life is a school to prepare you for the next journey. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to. No, I ain't talking about the government, the NSA, or the C. I'm talking about higher ranking entities than them, the people that watch over them, and we all know who runs those agencies. And I was just saying earlier today, man, listen, you know why our whole government is corrupt, bro? You know why the governments around the world are corrupt? Because a lot of these government officials are satanic. They worship Satan himself. They believe that they got sacred knowledge to prove that the devil is more powerful than God and that God ain't even real anyway. But I'm thinking to myself, if God's not real, then how in the hell is Satan real, man? Yes, you are on to something, FD. Nephilim vampires. That's supposed to be a real thing that also resides in the higher realms. See, there's more than just angels in the higher realms, bro. There's all kinds of shit in the higher realms. It ain't just God and his disciples and his angels. It's a whole nother world over there. So they got demons, vampires, monsters, goblins. They got all kinds of fucking shit, man. Why you think people running around here on earth on demon time? Because as above, so below. Every single thing that we are involved in here is going on in the higher realms. So whatever you do here is gonna determine the type of shit you gotta go, you know what I'm saying, to a in the higher realms, man. And if you can't get it right, then you're gonna get cast to a place that you didn't expect to go, man. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go to a place you ain't expect to go, man. And me, all I'm trying to do is keep my anger in check, not betray anybody. I ain't manipulating nobody. I'm just living my life every day, doing not the same shit, but not doing bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do a whole bunch of good stuff, a whole bunch of regular stuff, but I'll never be out here doing a whole bunch of bullshit, man. To people, to anything, right? It ain't in me. It's not on me, and the only reason I have to deal with a lot of this weird shit on YouTube is because I'm a content creator. Other than that, I'm not connected to these clowns. I don't have any connection to what goes on here. And all I try to do is reach and teach, but never preach. You know what I'm saying? And if I can do that, I'll be a happy camper, homie. And some people really get at me on a genuine level, while a whole bunch of other people are just bullshit ass NPC characters in the life stage, in the life show that you could see where they heading. They don't care. Oh, I don't care if I'm going to hell. Nah, you ain't going to hell. You ain't going to hell. You're gonna get put into a spiritual body of a damn goblin, and you're gonna have to spend the next 1,000 years possessing little evil motherfuckers on earth. And you gonna get tired of that. You gonna get tired of that real quick. You know, they say these demons be hiding. They be hiding in people's homes. They be hiding from the lights. You know, you ever walked in somebody's house and it just felt weird? Or you ever just walked in someone's house and then you immediately started arguing with the person, and it was like you ended up having to just leave just a few minutes after you arrived? Well, if you ever experienced some shit like that, it was probably a strong possibility it was a demon in that home. And that demon recognized your ass as not being a demon, and not see, a demon don't want you around if it can't possess you. If a demon can't jump in your body and control you, then the demon don't even want you around it. Demons like to hang around people that are easily hijacked. Like, and there's a lot of motherfuckers, as you can see, as you can clearly see, there's a lot of people walking around with their back door wide open, unlocked, easily. Like, they can possess them vessels easy, right? So if you know you ain't that kind of person, devils and demons that are on the other side of the fabric of reality, that they there, but you can't see them. They don't want your ass around at all. You know what I'm saying? And you will be able to know that, like, when you walk in certain places, whether it be a store or just a building or a person's home or wherever. Even, man, I done felt some crazy energy at a hospital, man. You know, a place where people are supposed to be getting, worked on and healed. Nah, man. Demons is everywhere, bro. Ain't nothing out here safe, man. The only thing that's gonna make you safe is if you can control your own mind, your own thoughts, your free will, and your self-control. If you can control that kind of shit, man, then you are already favored by God, because that's why he gave you all that shit, because you got something that you can use for good or bad. You got some shit that you can spiral out of control, man. Why you think we got drug addicts, alcoholics, serial unalivers, rapists, child molesters, all these different people? They got the free will to do this shit, and they lost control over their own vessel. They got inhabited by demons, and now they can't come back. You know what I'm saying? So God be watching people to see. See, I got a theory, a whole theory about this shit, right? And some people probably agree, some people probably wouldn't. But like, I got a whole theory when it comes to, you know, people and their thoughts, and the fact that we have the ability to practice self-control and free will, and like your thoughts, bro, your fucking brain, your brain, right? What do you think about? What do you want to do? Why do people walk down the street, see a girl running, and decide he gonna snatch her up and unalive her and jug her 150 times and then hide her in a dump? Like, why do people think that, man? Like, what is that? That's that angry spirit. That's that motherfucking demon. And I also believe this, bro. A motherfucker would be shocked if, like, you could put on a pair of sunglasses, right? And all of a sudden you could see all the spirits walking up and down the streets. I believe that the streets are crowded. No matter where you go, at any time, day or night, there's just these spirits roaming around all over these cities, even up and down the highways, in the mountains, just everywhere. And it's almost like already been proven when Elon Musk put out the Tesla Model S with the computer on it, that people started discovering weird anomalies when they go to the cemetery. They picking up on people that ain't even there. And it's like, whether that's some shit they did on intentionally or that's like a real thing, right? I believe it's a real thing, first of all. But like, it just goes to show you that if you were to be able to see just how many spirits were walking around. And the crazy part, just think about if you could see spirits in a city walking down the street. You think you just by yourself, when in fact you're not. It's all kind of spirits all around you. But that ain't even what I want you to think about. Think about how they look. If there's demons, if there's evil spirits, if there's angels and all that, think about if you were able to see spirits, some of the crazy shit you would see. You would see shit that would probably make you lose your mind and your eyeballs would burn out your head just off of what you were able to see. But that's exactly why God in the spiritual realm doesn't allow us to see that. But they still have a certain amount of power to tap into your spirit through your thoughts, through your actions, through what you just how you allow motherfuckers to program you. And it's all, in my opinion, it's tied into what we eat, bro. It's tied into what we eat because the brain is connected to the stomach. And that's a proven fact. If you start having stomach problems, it fucks with your mind too, right? If you have severe stomach problems, your mind starts doing weird shit too, right? But it's not the other way around. If your mind starts fucking up, it doesn't affect your stomach. But if your stomach messes up, it affects your brain, and that's a fact, right? So I believe that, like, you got to watch what you eat too, man. And they always say, well, don't be eating animals, da 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 da, you know. But it's up to you, bro. At the end of the day, like I said, if you was able to see on the other side of the fabric of reality, I think a lot of people would change their ways immediately, right? I'm talking about motherfuckers who've been claiming they've been demons and devils for years and years and years. They would change overnight if they could see what was really out here lurking in this world and how these motherfucking devils be hopping in people's bodies and shit and controlling them because of the shit they think, the shit they eat, and the fact that they don't have self control over certain shit. You ever seen a person that was completely normal, a good guy, right? A really humble person, get drunk and then just go crazy, just be on some straight rampage type of shit. And yeah, the same goes with Beth. Boy, if you want to hear some of the craziest stories ever, go holler at a meth head, someone who been smoking that shit for years. I'm talking about been hitting the boogie ball 1,000 times a day for the last 10 years. Those motherfuckers got some of the craziest stories that you will ever hear, man. And it's all tied into what happens to the mind. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta think, meth heads sit up here and go weeks without eating anything. Their stomachs be the size of a motherfucking peanut, right? Brain be dried up and shriveled up. Same with alcohol, you know what I'm saying? You start poisoning your organs and shit. I drink, but I'm not an alcoholic, but like, it's really crazy, man. But yeah, a lot of these people, even right here on YouTube, man, their vessels are inhabited by demons. And like I guess, like, according to popular belief, some people's vessels are like Cadillacs, bro. They got big, spacey, roomy four doors to where not only can you be inhabited by one demon, they can hop in your ass like you a four-door Cadillac. It'd be four demons riding deep inside of your vessel. And you just getting pulled all kind of different ways, bro. You don't even know what the fuck's going on. You think you do, but you ain't got no idea. That's why, I be making these videos, man, because I be really trying to make people that are conscious, that care about this kind of shit, understand, like, hey, man, it is important more than ever before, especially since they over there in Switzerland fucking with this particle collider that's supposed to be, you know, opening up different doorways to different dimensions and different spiritual little things, right? And we sitting up here fucking playing and acting like we on demon time and doing all this bullshit, acting like we really on something, like we some dangerous motherfuckers. Some people are dangerous, right? But they only dangerous till they get what's coming to them, right? Jeffrey Dahmer was dangerous until he got beat over the head with a pipe. You know, um, Saddam Hussein was dangerous till they hung him from a rope. You know, hey, God bless their souls, man. Hopefully, when they passed on and they had to go get judged, they had something good to say, because based on what they did in life, it's probably over for them. Hey, did y'all know that Saddam Hussein, when he was a teenager, he had uncles and shit in politics already, and that Saddam Hussein was a little thug that ran the streets with his homies, and he was a hitman, and that's how he rose to power, because he had an uncle that used to run for different positions, and he would go holler at Saddam, and he would say, "Hey man, I need to get this certain position that I'm gonna run for, but I'm gonna I'm gonna um I'm gonna need you to go ahead and knock this dude off for me, get rid of the competition." And so that's how Saddam rose to power. He got known in the political world as being a hitman for these political leaders over in, Iraq. And he just was doing it so much that he got his foot in the door with the military, with the government, and everything else. And then next thing you know, he's the general of the damn army. And but he started off as just a little thug in the streets of Iraq, on demon time, doing hits for powerful men, making money. And he was serious too. That's why if you ever seen some of them videos that they were putting out 20 years ago, 30 years ago about Saddam Hussein, that dude was insane. I'm talking about this dude would do, let me tell you some of the shit this dude would do to people that went against him, right? He would have his soldiers walk prisoners to the top of a 6-story building, and he would toss their ass off into the dirt. And if somehow those motherfuckers hit the ground and survived, this is what he would do. He would order his soldiers to go back down, pick that person that survived up, walk them back to the building, and throw their ass off again, right? Saddam's crazy, man. And another thing he did, I read this in a magazine, so this is 100% actual factual right here. There was a prison over there, right? And he ordered his guards that worked at the prison to unalive every inmate in the prison. It was like 1,500 inmates, maybe more, right? And he ordered the execution of all of them. But here was the catch, right? He told his guards, let's say he told them at midnight, he said, "Listen, guards, I want every inmate in this prison unalived before 6 a.m. And if you don't get the job done, then I'm gonna send in another team to unalive y'all." So the guards set out throughout the prison all night, just unaliving inmates, just executing every dude in the whole. So it was like he was a really really bad dude, man. Like really bad guy, man. You know, videos of this dude, he would tie two dudes up back to back, right? And he would stick a hand grenade in between them and tie a rope to the pin, and the soldiers would stand back and wait for the order. And when they got the order, they'll pull the pin with the string, and they'll wait for the grenade to explode, right? And if one of the guys survived somehow, he'd just do it again. The other dude would be blown in half or some old crazy shit. Like that dude he was diabolical, man. He was diabolical, man. But I always heard that a lot of his people still loved him, though. They still loved him. But like, if you read some of the stuff they said that he did, and he had videos to back it up. Like this just wasn't shit people say about this man. This fool filmed a lot of this shit, and it still floats around on the internet to this day. So don't take my word for it. You can go look at some of those old Saddam Hussein snuff videos. If you could find them online, you could watch them. This dude was diabolical, man. You would not have wanted to been up under his rule. Yeah, you wouldn't have wanted to be up under Saddam's rule, especially if you went against him and you wanted your democracy and your freedom, and he said no, and you got mad enough to speak out about it. Just know he was finna throw you off a 6-story building, and if your ass didn't get unalived on the first toss, he was finna throw you off again. I don't care if your neck was broke, both your arms and legs. They gonna carry your ass to the top of that building and throw you off again, bro. Hey man, long story short though, man, keep your heart as light as a feather. Don't take these examples that I'm giving and think that you gotta be a demon, because you will be judged. I don't care what anybody told you. You may not be judged in the court of law, but you're gonna get judged in the high court when you pass. And if you got a track record of doing shady stuff, shady dealings, and being on demon time, there's a strong possibility that you're gonna get sentenced in such a way that you're gonna wish that you was a better person. But people don't believe that. People don't want to believe that. People laugh at shit like that. America is so funny. The shit that people out here laugh at. How nothing, everything's a joke. You know, it just makes you wonder, hey man, it just makes you wonder, why is everything a joke? Everything's a joke because we've been programmed to believe that nothing's real. All right, Dr. Steve, see you later, sir. Wish you were never here to begin with. Nah, it's a little bit more sinister than just a simulation. It's like it's like uh it's like that movie Hostel, right? It's a movie. Life is a movie. The world is a stage. But the movie that's being played is like a scary movie. And the people that are walking around happy go lucky, they're the people in the movie that are unaware and are naive. They don't see the big picture. They don't understand the harvesting farms, the disappearances, and the torture chambers that are all around, even in their city that they're in. Like, you go through your city every day, bro. They got shit everywhere, man. Like, they got they got they got people that buy bodies from funeral homes, and then they desecrate the body. Ain't y'all heard about they're like disguised as clinics, but if you go in there, there's nobody alive in the clinic. It's a clinic for corpses. And what these clinics do is they sell body parts to different people. And you can buy a whole body, you can buy a leg, you can buy an arm, you can buy a head, you can buy whatever you want out of this place. And you can even make custom orders. Like, if you want someone else's head sewed onto someone else's body, if you want to get a man's head sewed onto a woman's body, you can go buy that. And this shit came out in public. Like, dudes got busted, people went to jail, and this is the kind of shit they found when they went and raided these facilities. They found just all kind of weird shit, right? But the point I'm trying to make is the world is a stage, and everybody doesn't know what's really going on. But it's crazy how everyone doesn't know, because bit by bit, they didn't already revealed what's going on. Like, it's already been put out there. If you just take all the little pieces of information and put them all together, the truth is right there. This is a horror movie called Life. It's a fucking horror movie. Not to mention all the animals, the shit they do to animals. Oh man. But hey man, if you like it, that's all that matters, right? What's up, Louie? If you like it, that's all that matters, man. But anyways, we gonna change speed, man. We 65 minutes in. I got 13 likes showing, 6 people in the chat. It is approaching 4 a.m. We've been going for an hour. I would ask, hey man, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go check out the little work I've been doing. I'm finna launch a whole nother channel, right? And I've been doing editing work lately, right? I'm about to start a StreamYard to where during my lives we can debate as long as it's respectful. I'll be able to split the screen and you can log into StreamYard and people will be able to see you and me, the host, anybody, as long as you are able to connect all your devices and you want to join StreamYard. I'm gonna be doing that shortly here in the next couple weeks. I'm already connected. I can end this live and I could restart it through StreamYard, and then anybody else who already has StreamYard or can download it or link their YouTube to their Google account or whatever, you'll be able to split screen with me and we can talk, we can debate, we can exchange ideas, but ultimately you will be able to show your face. Now, I don't expect any of these trolls to be interested in that because they want to remain trolls. And the only way to be a successful troll is to remain anonymous. You can't be out here trolling and showing your face because that's not real trolling. So I don't expect for the trolls to get on board with that. But everybody else, man, I'm really going to be just focused on people that are already subscribed, people that I already deal with. You know what I'm saying? I got people that tap in with me on a regular basis, man. A good 20 people, good 20, maybe even 30 people throughout the day come through the lives that I put on, and real nice, respectful individuals that I respect in return and appreciate a whole lot. That I would love to invite on my show and give them an opportunity to speak and be seen if they're willing. I'm sure some people they ain't scared to be seen. Like I said, the trolls. I'm sure they ain't gonna be trying to be seen, but we ain't talking about them. So, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to be a part of that. Also, you know, just shoot a like to me so I can keep the algorithm going and we can keep doing what we doing, man. I don't know. I never seen your name before, Derek. I never seen your name before. So, hey, greetings, man. Greetings. I can tell you this: 12 hours ago, it's 4 p.m. and I wasn't streaming at 4 p.m. I was actually in the bed, just chilling. I wasn't ready to get up. As a matter of fact, at 4 o'clock, I had made some food, man. I went out today and I bought some Middle Eastern food, man. I don't know. Who knows about shawarma? Does anybody like shawarma? I've been on since 3. I've been on since 3 a.m. I logged in at 2:58. All right, well, subscribe to the channel, KFC, because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to invite you to the StreamYard live. Is you have to be subscribed. Um, I'm not just doing randoms because that's risky business, and randoms prefer to stay randoms for a reason. So I wouldn't be interested necessarily in just putting on a random, right? But if I could get you to subscribe to the channel, then you will be able to have that option. And as soon as I unlock these other features, man, I'm going to have videos for the members only. So even if you do tap into my channel and you're not subscribed, and even if you are subscribed, you ain't going to be able to see every single video I put out, because I got other information that I want to convey that I feel like could really benefit somebody. And you're going to have to like really tap in. You're going to have to be more than just a visitor, more than just subscribed. You're going to have to show me that you really truly rock with me. But hey man, if you ain't on that, then don't even work. Just disregard everything I said, bro, cuz it ain't for you. And everything ain't for everybody, so don't worry about it. But we going to be going now probably till 5:30. So I got another 45, 50. Let me see. 5:30, that's an hour and a half. So about 75 minutes. Absolutely, George. Highly appreciate that, man. We just trying to be informative and trying to be righteous, because you know what? I listen, my birthday is on Monday, right? I'll be 44 years old. And one thing I came to find in my 44 years on this earth is that it doesn't even take a lot of energy, man, to be cool, calm, and collective without being a dirtbag. So it works for me to be a good person, or what I consider good, because it doesn't take any energy away from me. But if I was out here, being a dirtbag and shit, and being a backstabber and a betrayer, boy, I'd be using up so much of my energy just to be a damn demon that it ain't worth it. Yeah, I appreciate that, George. Appreciate the birthday wishes, bro. You know, not to mention, I'm also the kind of individual that, a lot of people are watching, friendlies and non-friendlies, right? That's me. That's my life. I got non-friendly people watching me, and I got friendly people watching me. So, you know, I got to put it down for both sides. You know, if the enemies is watching, I'm going to give them a show. If my friends are watching, I'm also give them a show. But either way it goes, I'm going to give you a show, whether you watching for whatever your reasons are. You know what I'm saying? I got enemies I ain't never even met face to face before. So keep that in mind, because that's my life. That's how my life is set up. I got enemies I ain't never even met face to face, but they have already agreed to each other that I am their enemy. So that makes me a very blessed individual. That makes me a very powerful individual. You know what I'm saying? Because how many people that could say they got enemies that they ain't never even met face to face, bro? That's some real deep shit if you think about it. You know, the kind of enemies that'll shake your hand and then order a war against you, right? What you mean, where am I? You talking about where's my geological location? Just trying to make myself feel better. I mean, if that's what you want to call it, I'm actually being serious. But I mean, if you don't think that that's the case, then you're entitled to your opinion, I suppose, man. I'm in the state of Michigan, man. It is 4:07 a.m. currently in the state of Michigan, and there is light snowfall. outside with sub-zero temperatures. Keep your pets inside tonight. It is very cold out there. The pets will not last through the night. But yeah, Uncle Snoop, Lil Jabari, I seen that name. You know what? I was in prison with this dude, right? I was in prison with this dude. He had lost his mind for some reason, right? Nah, I'm a long way away from Lake Superior. I'm closer to Lake Erie, Lake Sinclair, Detroit River. Check it out. I was locked up with this cat, right? He used to call me Jabari. This cat swore up and down that my name was Jabari. And I was like, bro, my name is not Jabari. I would be upset with my father if he would have named me Jabari, right? I don't even like the way that name sounds. Jabari sounds like a dude with a big ass head and some big gums and still got the nerve to have braids that stop at the top of his neck. My name ain't Jabari. If you in the dope game, I get you. No, I'm not in the dope game, man. I'm not in the dope game, man. Nope. I'm not in the dope game. I'm in something totally different than that. Hey man, I don't even know what you would call the game I'm in because it was a game I didn't agree to it. Didn't even know about the game until the last couple years. You feel me? And Derek says, bro, you got them slopes. Yeah, I got them slopes. Yeah, whatever that means, that's what I got, bro. Make sure you just like the video, man, and subscribe to the channel. Comment, share the video, show love, hate on me, whatever you choose to do, man. It seems like I've been getting hated on because I didn't said like and subscribe about 20 times and my likes didn't go anywhere. So like I said, I got enemies I've never even met face to face and they sit here on these live streams. But it's cool. I still got to keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. But I know who's watching me. Think I don't know who's watching me, man? But at any rate, man, doesn't matter who's watching me, man. My job is not to put on a show. My job is to entertain and educate, man. You know, Ninja, I can't get into all that, but um, I can't. I mean, I have, but like I said, you can go check out my channel, and as you go through the videos and listen to my message, you will come to find quite quickly what I'm referring to and the type of time that I'm on, as far as what my fight out here and my pursuit is, and what I'm trying to achieve. Right? It's all there on a digital file on YouTube, and I'm fully aware that this shit is forever right here. You upload anything on the YouTube, it will be there until the world ends. It ain't going anywhere. So I know what I'm doing, and I know the 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 gravity of what I'm doing. It's very heavy. I don't like people's videos because then it adds to my list. Okay, well, whatever your reasoning is, that's what it's YouTube is for. But I guess some people just go against the program. You help different creators that you watch by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. So if you got a guy like you who says that you don't participate in that, then you're just a viewer and you shouldn't make any comments because you don't participate fully in what this platform is designed for, because you're very selective about what you watch, which is cool. But at the same time though, it takes away from the people that you watch for you to be selective. And like I said, you might as well not comment neither. Just don't participate at all. Nah, but the thing is, I don't, now that you said that, I really don't want to indulge with a person that's going to sit there and say that he won't like a video because it will muck up his algorithm. Like, as if like the search for him would become, you know, draining, having to search through all the different creators that he watched and he liked. You know, what do you do on YouTube if you don't like anybody's shit? But if you call that entitled, I would like to sit down and discover what other opinions do you have about people and what they say to you. Entitlement. The only people I know that use entitlement are people that are well off in life, people that ain't been through a lot, people who have parents with money, good jobs, nice homes. They call like less fortunate people entitled, which I always thought that was weird. How the poor get called entitled by the actual entitled people. that's that's another one of those things in society that is meant to program you. But I'm getting the idea that maybe Derek Diggs is a little bit on the younger minded side because he doesn't know what calling someone entitled really means, especially if he knows he's in a position in life to where he doesn't have to worry about being entitled to something because it was never a question in his household. But like for other people that are less fortunate, that get accused of feeling entitled, not actually being entitled because they want just a little something of nothing out of life. And you got these entitled kids say, hey, you don't deserve that. What do you think, you're entitled? That's that's how they program the poor to stay poor, to feel like you don't deserve nothing, not even a like on your video. But I get you though, bro. I get you. Asking versus expecting is a very different thing. These kids are pretty weird. Life is unfair. Hey, I never told the dude I expected nothing, but for him to use the term entitlement over a like on a video, to me, it's just crazy work. Like, entitled to a like. Is that how petty we've became? That people feel entitled to a like. If I want you to like my video, it's because I feel entitled. Well, what else would I be feeling entitled to if I'm that petty to where I feel entitled to a like? Then that means I feel entitled to your girlfriend. I feel entitled to your refrigerator. I feel entitled to your life and your money and your lifestyle, even though I'm less fortunate, right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, wouldn't no less fortunate guy say no shit like that to me. He would have just liked the video without a question. Like, yeah, absolutely. Click. It wouldn't even have been a thing, right? That's how I know dude is a real entitled individual. Because only an entitled motherfucker would say something like that. And then all his entitled buddies would come behind him to justify it like a defendant and his high paid attorneys to hurry up and sweep everything under the rug. Like, hey, stop. You heard the man. Stop acting entitled. That's entitlement. Hey, you can expect it or you can ask. But either way, man, if you expect it, you're shut the fuck up, bro. That's what you do. Anybody who chimed in on that little subject matter, shut the fuck up, please. Respectfully, of course. Only thing I know about a gas light is when it comes on, it's time for me to hit the gas station, bro. It's the only thing I know about a gas light. When the gas light is on, That means my fuel is low. But like I said, Derek Diggs, I don't see why you're still participating. If you're not a full participator, then don't feel entitled enough to be a halfway participator. Because on my channel, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't like that. I don't like somebody telling me that I'll participate enough to be a borderline troll, but I won't be respectful enough to give you the like to make your algorithm spread my message to more people. Okay, so who's really entitled, man? That's all. And then, of course, there's that. I don't offer any value. There's always that, you know. I mean, this dude is dripping entitlement with every word he continues to say. I'm sure that all these 6 people in here can see, yeah, this dude, he's definitely entitled because he's got all the trigger terms. He knows every one of them, almost like he's reading out of the book. You know, I don't offer any value. Let me tell you something, Mr. Derek. Every place I've ever been in my life, I brought value to, right? Even my own life, because of the way I move, because of the things I say, because of the insight that I provide. If I didn't bring value, you wouldn't be sitting here watching me right now, bro. You gonna get off this live and you gonna think about me. You gonna be thinking about what I had to say. You gonna be thinking about the shit you said. That's value, whether you like it or not. It's all about perspective. And it sounds to me like you're so entitled to being a smart guy that you ain't putting shit in a proper perspective. You're just saying shit to make yourself sound correct. But really, you're making me irritated because I don't like what you're saying. I don't like what you're saying. Using trigger words like gaslight, entitlement, no value. Why don't you exit the same way you entered, like I requested from the beginning, instead of this back and forth with a real entitled individual? Because I'm going to tell you right now, one thing about me is I got all night up until I end this video, right? I got up until I end this video. I don't particularly like going back and forth with the trolls, but I do. I do. It doesn't mean I like it. I'm not calling you a troll per se, but I'm just saying like you're a borderline for sure. Because you got all the trigger words. Shit that will piss anybody off. Calling people entitled, saying they're gaslighting, saying they don't bring value, you know. But if I was to do my StreamYard, for sure, your face would never appear on the split screen because you're just a halfway participator. You don't believe that you need to contribute to what another man is doing because you don't want him to benefit off your action, even in the most minute kind of way. You will withhold that minute value just because you can, and you have, and you're going to continue to do, sir. But don't worry about it, man. I've met a lot of guys like you, man. Just here taking up other people's space. We could put a solid individual in your position, and he would play your position better than you. People that don't play games, right? People that don't play games. People that don't act petty. You ever heard of Petty Eddie? And here he goes. You guys just default to calling everyone a troll when people have their own opinions. Let me ask you this. Is that how you spend your days? Is what I want to know. Do you spend your days getting in the comment section of live stream videos, spewing opinions until it aggravates somebody? So you can point your finger, your digital finger, right? Is that how you spend your time? Because it's pretty late where I'm at. It's 4:23 a.m., right? But I'm good. I've been rested all day. So what I'm trying to figure out, that this is my job. This is what I do, right? This is what I'm doing, right? I don't know if you know this, but YouTube pays content creators to bring content. That's like it's a business, right? It's a literal business. You can go and register a business right on YouTube, run your content, get it copywritten, get it all protected, and make money, right? So I'm in the place I'm supposed to be. But my question to you, sir, is do you spend your time cross examining content creators just for your own pleasure, for your own entitlement, or because I'm where I'm supposed to be? And I guess you were where you were supposed to be until you sat up here and said that you don't do something in a space where that's exactly what you're supposed to do because you don't want me to feel entitled to it based on my response because you don't understand this is a business for a lot of people. This is what we do. So it ain't about feeling entitled. It's about if you're going to act like that, then exit stage left and please don't come back because you're not a participator. You're a passive aggressive hater. That's all. Not even getting that deep in it, man. I didn't already spent too much time dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get it. And most entitled people don't get it. It's being entitled is a programming. And if it wasn't, everybody would either be entitled or everybody would not be entitled. Let's just think about where did the word entitlement even derive from? It derived from the wealthy people trying to gaslight the poor people and make them believe that they didn't deserve shit but to be poor for their entire lives. That's where the term entitlement came from. It wasn't a word two poor people came up with. It wasn't a word two rich people came up with. It was a word that a rich motherfucker, not even rich, but just someone who felt more well off than another, right? And they needed a way to manipulate the unwell off person into believing that they didn't deserve what you have in any way, right? So just think about that, man. Think about it. The only people I've ever been called entitled by was always business owners, little rich kids, you know, old ladies who clutch their pearls and hold their purse, like people that don't know what any kind of struggle is whatsoever. That's the only people that I've ever seen call somebody entitled. I've never seen a poor man call another poor man entitled. Not me. Not even saying I'm poor, but I'm just saying like I know who uses that kind of derogatory terminology, and that's why I don't like it because I know who uses that kind of shit, man. People who feel like they're on a higher social status than the person they're talking to. That's who uses terms like entitlement. And another thing, they only use it against people they feel are under, not over. You would never call somebody of a higher value or social status than you would never call someone like that entitled because you would already know that they are entitled. So, quite naturally, you would only use the term entitlement for an individual that you feel is less of a human being than you. So, why do rich people say it? Two poor guys could never call each other entitled unless they're drunk and just talking shit and don't really know what they're saying. It's kind of like a black man calling another black man a nigger. It just wouldn't sit right. It'd be weird. Like, wait a minute. How are you? It just wouldn't make sense, right? It would only make sense if it was a non black saying nigger. It's the only way it would make sense. And what I'm trying to say is that it would only be derogatory if you called me one. But if I called you one, it wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't hit the same, right? So I hope I added value to your thoughts today. And you could leave my chat with that value that you said I didn't bring. I bring a lot of value. I've been building America for the last 20 years, bro. I've been building America. I didn't build all kinds of shit around this raggedy ass country, man. So I don't expect you to know that, but now you do. Now you know. I've been building this raggedy ass country one steel beam at a time. I've been involved with and I've been places that you couldn't even imagine. Where you could imagine, but you wouldn't do what I do. You couldn't do what I do. But at any rate, we are exactly an hour away. Oh, I knew the real trolls was coming. That's automatic, right? When I get to really drilling one of these motherfuckers, the trolls, they gotta pop out. That's they have to, bro. Like they have to. And quite honestly, Michael, this person, whoever he always pops out. Like this ain't the first time. And his favorite word is gay. That's his favorite word. What's his favorite word? Gay. I guess he gets paid to say it. I don't know. And beans and tomatoes, he's another guy. I don't know him. I guess he's a new one. So we got three gay dudes in here right now. We got Chicago, we got Michael, and beans and tomatoes, whatever that's supposed to be. You know, they they're the honey bun triplets. All they do is focus on honey buns. The honey bun triplets. Their favorite word is gay. But I'm the type of person that'll take all three of you dudes on. Like, come and jump me. I'll fight all three of y'all at the same time. And if you get me, you get me. I mean, you throwing that word around, man. You just on here. You're not even being a troll. You on here being gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Like, if you like it, I love it. Hey, man, shout out to the little three-man LGBTQ community, man. You know, we got the little three-man community in the house tonight. So please, people, be respectful of the gay men in the chat. I would highly appreciate not offending these gay guys. It's three of them. Just right now, it's three. The number might go up shortly, but as of right now, it's just three. I don't know what any of these individuals have, but like I know a female wouldn't be in here doing this shit. Not at all. Oh, okay. Now we got so the communities file on in, man. Let me get a like on a video, bro. All right, let me get a like, even if it's a gay like. Let me just get a like, man. I'll take a gay like right now. If that's the best I can get, I'm willing to take it, bro. Beans he's just drunk. He's been drinking tomato juice all night. That's why he spelled it wrong in his name. And oh, Sprite, huh? Is that dirty Sprite, huh? You've been drinking that dirty Sprite and tomato juice, huh? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. You can like the video. Like I said, bro, I'll take a gay like. If that's all I can get about the chat, Anyways, we got to move on to bigger and better things, man. Hey, AB Productions, how you doing tonight, man? You know what? I really think the ICE situation is getting out of hand. I really think it's unfortunate. And I try to stay vigilant at first until bodies started dropping. I said, why is flesh so cheap these days? Why does everything have to end in tragedy? Why do the American people continue to be pushed? Why do these agendas continue to be pushed? I'm starting to believe that America is quite, in fact, a third world country. The only difference is our mask is starting to slip. Pretty soon, these neighborhoods will be vacant. There will be no people in them. But we will still be paying a ransom to Israel regardless. That will never change. The synagogue of Satan still reigns supreme. The ICE situation is, if you're not out there in the thick of it, then let it be for your entertainment. But I will add, viewer discretion is advised because there will be graphic scenes in this show, but it will be entertaining as long as we don't end up seeing you on camera. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the news out there. There's regular degglers with camera phones, and they rather point a phone at you before they would point a weapon at you. And that's because in America, a phone is more dangerous than a weapon. It exposes something, right? But at the same time, you see that the exposure is ignored. So, in other words, we are seeing cold blooded unalivings taking place on camera. And the Bible said in the end times there would be public executions that took place in front of the public, and nobody would bat an eye. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what's happening right now. Public executions on camera, and the people still refuse to fight. They're out there fighting with their camera phones and their signs, but they're not really fighting because there'll never be another civil war. Because everybody knows that with civil war means you got to be ready to die. And we're living in a society right now where everybody's willing to kill, but nobody's willing to die. And the ones that do die are not martyrs. Martyrs, they're just casualties of a war. And most of them were unarmed, right? Most of them. Let's be real. The poster child of the first one, what was her name? Miss Good. She was unarmed, but according to ICE, she wasn't because she used her vehicle as a weapon, which means she was armed with a deadly vehicle. She wasn't unarmed. It's just about perspective. We seen that shit go down on camera, right? But it's always got to have a Masonic twist. So you can't really take shit at face value anymore because it could still, what do they call it? A psyop, a coup, all these weird ass names that the media gives all these little situations. It's all Masonic, right? We're just watching. Let me tell you what we're watching. We're watching Satan and his people hostily take over America, but not from behind the scenes like it used to be, from the dark corners and the unseen places. Now he didn't move to the forefront. He said we can't work around these cameras, so we just gonna work right in front of them. And we gonna do it in such a way to where you can get all the raw footage you want, all your little viral videos. Go sell them to TMZ for $40,000 because they ain't gonna change the world. If anything, they're just gonna teach the American public that your camera phone is a weapon formed against you, but it ain't a weapon to hurt Satan or his army. I'll tell you that. But ICE ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So, if you know that, then you could just be at peace with that. That ICE is just the beginning, right? ICE is the beginning. Now is the time to pay attention more than ever before. Because now everything is being televised just like they said it would be. Hey, I'm gonna be off camera for a second, right? I'm gonna be off camera for just a second. But this is what I'm gonna say. The best thing for everyone to do right now is to prepare for the worst, stop hoping for the best, and get right with your creator, bro. That's what people all over the world should be doing. Is hoping for the worst, stop hoping for the best, and just get right with your creator. Because the revolution is televised, and it ain't being televised in the right way. It's being televised in such a way where public executions are becoming normalized. And that could be you, that could be your son, it could be your daughter, your mother, your father, be anybody. That's what I think about ICE. I think ICE is the frontliners. They're the frontliners, but they're not the last that we're gonna see. Because the minute that anybody starts to try to go up against ICE, then they introduce the National Guard. And you know what comes after the National Guard, right? The fucking military. And believe me, they're already ready to mobilize. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the whole time during COVID, they were shipping in tanks and helicopters and armored vehicles on the trains all over America. People were quietly posting the videos for the last 8 years of all these military vehicles getting trucked into place on the trains, on the train cars and shit. Nobody really paid attention. A couple people questioned it, like, damn, what's up with all these military vehicles getting moved around? Well, they were getting ready for 2026. They was getting ready for the shift. And the shift is happening. As soon as Donald Trump got in office, he got to work immediately. You want to talk about an elitist? You ain't seen an elitist till you met Donald Trump. He was the man that wasn't afraid to get shot at and still carry out the agenda and motherfucking, you see how they did Charlie Kirk? That's probably the coldest public execution we've seen in a very long time. And then it comes out that his wife is with the CIA. Oh man, that's some wild shit right there, if you ask me. That's some wild shit. Yeah, they've been trucking them in. They're in all the right places. Why you think they want Greenland? Greenland's gonna be a military outpost. We gonna put a cold, I'm talking about when we absorb Greenland, that's gonna be probably the whole country's gonna be one big military base. You won't even be able to step foot in Greenland when America gets a hold of it. It's gonna be military only. The biggest military base in the world, Craig. So imagine if Yass gets in trouble and they ship you up to a prison that can hold 50,000 inmates on the side of a mountain in Greenland. How's your family gonna come visit you then? Well, you better study how elitists get down, because you ain't seen evil. And it's not even that it's evil, it's just about control. See, the thing that they've been trying to achieve since the beginning of time was total control over the entire population. And right now they're taking a grab at it. They are going to try. And if the motherfucking people don't fight, they are going to achieve their goal. And even if the people do fight, I didn't already said this, like, it's already too far gone. We don't need a revolution because it ain't gonna work. We just got a bunch of angry Americans with guns, and they're gonna be shooting at armored vehicles and tanks and armored helicopters and like, I don't know if anybody's seen the latest technology that the military has. Man, why you think they let all these Americans have guns? They not gonna do nothing. It's just going. And then the other thing, I say this. I say that if the revolution pops off, this is how it's gonna go. It's gonna start out against the power, and it's gonna end in a race war. And then you're gonna notice that the blacks get targeted by the thousands, the hundreds of, like, that's how it's gonna go. It's really gonna, the revolution is not a revolution at all. It's gonna end up just being a race war, right? Yeah, I think that's what you should do, Critter. And Cali Boy, man, hey, I'm just going off my intuition based on what I see. I'm looking at it through a spiritual lens, to be honest. I don't think it's the end times for everyone. I just think it's the end times for some. Some of us are in End times are upon us. You know, they are definitely upon certain groups of people, right? And mark my words, this same time, 50 years from tonight, we're gonna talk about how a lot of people got taken up out of here by force. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, just think about it. The revolution is really just a race war, and the race war will be televised. See, the Civil War wasn't televised because they didn't have camera phones back then, right? But they got them now. And that, you right, Cali boy, that's the tip of the. I'm not even digging in. This is just surface level knowledge that I'm talking about. This ain't even half of what is going on right now. It ain't even half of it, you know. But let's just hope this time everybody don't run to Walmart and buy up all the toilet paper and all the top ramen and hide out in their little doomsday bunkers, because they, let me tell you what they'll do to your doomsday bunker. They'll wrap a chain around the door, wrap the chain around the tank, and yank that fucking door right off your bunker and pull your ass out after they come in with bulletproof shields so you could sit there and shoot all you want. It ain't gonna help. That's why we have guns, because that's the least deadly weapon that we have, to be honest. If you really, I mean, if people are sitting up here saying they zapping shit from space, what is an AR gonna do, bro? It'll do something to me, it'll do something to you, but it ain't gonna do nothing to the elite. Bro, they got robotic dogs with miniguns on them and shit, right? Imagine if they release 100,000 robotic dogs with cameras and miniguns, right? Now this is some just old crazy shit, but it's still very believable, right? They release all these robotic dogs and robots into society with cameras and miniguns, right? With big boxes full of thousands of rounds, and they just go to town, right? And then after about 2 or 3 years of doing that, you're gonna have these big empty cities. I mean, shit, look at the movie I Am Legend. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith didn't star in I Am Legend for no reason. Like, it was a big empty wasteland of abandoned buildings, but they weren't abandoned. They just, all the people were gone. They got rid of them. They blamed it on this. They blamed it on that. But you know, they always told us, hey, Hollywood tells the story before it actually gets put into action. You know, why all the celebrities are starving to death. You know, they always tell, like they tell you what's going to happen before it happens, but they do it in such a way to where it's easy to overlook, but it's still the truth. It's right there in front of your face, but it's done in such a way to where you can laugh about it, think it's funny, and definitely overlook what you're seeing, right? Hollywood is good at doing that. Casting the truth, but also an illusion at the same time. So, hey man, you know, they also said that the CIA created the rap game, and the CIA also approves most of the movies that come out of Hollywood, right? Look at the movie Transformers, robots fighting each other, right? It's all there, man. It's just, how do you see it? Do you even care about it? Do you want to joke and downplay it and call people crazy for noticing this shit? 'Cause some people say it's just entertainment. Some people say that they would spend billions upon billions of dollars just to entertain some Americans. You know, Americans, the same people that go and crowd the lines at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and Checkers, and get obese and vote for Democrats and complain about, you know, gas prices. Like, they spend billions of dollars in Hollywood to entertain us great Americans, bro. But nobody believes that the revolution is really just a race war. Ain't they been saying that they wanted to get rid of certain people for the longest? Didn't they say that the people that pass away nowadays don't go to the cemetery? Isn't it a proven fact that we still don't have a location of all these hundreds of thousands of bodies that pass every single day? Where are they going? To the incinerator? Prove it. Prove it. But hey, I'm sure a percentage of those bodies going to the incinerator. The people with diseases that are non-edible, and let's be real, there's a lot of people walking around with STDs and deadly diseases. I'm sure they get to go to the incinerator. They ain't going to McDonald's because you don't want to be eating full-blown AIDS. You don't want to be eating gonorrhea. You know what I'm saying? So some people do get to go to the incinerator, but like, what about the other folks? Good old American meat. You feel me? Where are they going? What happened to all those people during the COVID-19? Did you guys ever hear about the victims of the COVID pandemic in New York, where they buried like 30,000 people on top of each other on a private island, and that y'all can't even go and view your loved ones if they got buried on that island because the island was owned by the Bureau of Prisons, even though it was decommissioned and there was no inmates on the island. They were just using it as storage and like, overflow, but they had a little piece of land that they dug a ditch big enough to you could have filled it with water and stored some pretty good sized boats in it, right? But instead of filling it with water, they filled it with bodies. And those bodies are still there. Allegedly, I would like to go dig it up and really see if there's anybody there. But, you know, to my understanding, it was in the thousands, right? It was thousands of people. Oh, well, my bad. Didn't know it was not true. I mean, they put it on the news. They said it was true. I'm basing that off of what I saw with my own eyes on the, you know, 100% factual news media. They had the overhead view of the helicopter showing the guys packing the bodies in the hole. So I don't see how it's fake. You can go look up the shit right now if you stop trolling, get off your damn chat and go look at, hey, this guy said that they were burying COVID-19 victims on a decommissioned island in the Hudson River in New York City. Go look it up. If it's so not factual, look it up. Anybody can look it up. You should think before you say shit, man. Cause if you can look it up, then how you gonna say it's false if you could look it up? It could be false, but it's not me being false. You ain't look up shit. Shut up, stupid. You ain't look up nothing. You too busy being a professional troll to go look some shit up. You didn't let gay fly out your mouth about 100 times in 20 minutes. How you looking shit up when you too busy letting gay fall out your mouth over and over and over like you really offending somebody, man? But I'll tell you this, hey, there's 7 people in the chat. Why don't someone else, a trusted source, go look it up and tell this, whoever this guy is, that yeah, they buried. Now here's where information can get kind of foggy is the exact number of people that they buried. I don't know the exact number. I just remembered it was somewhere around 25,000 people. It was a lot of people, right? Look up the island in New York that used to be owned by the prison system, and they still own the island. That's why it's private. You can't go there. Because when could you ever go to anywhere owned by the government? You can't. But my question is, why would they bury bodies on government owned property? Just something to think about, right? Because then if your loved ones were amongst the deceased, how would you be able to pay your respects or visit or even get information on the location if the location is government owned property? You know, it's bad enough if you try to go camping on federal land, the game warden will come kick you out with a fine and a ticket, and you ain't even fishing, hunting, doing nothing. You just pitched a tent in the middle of the woods, and somehow the game warden knew you was out there. He came and said, "Hey, this is federally protected land, sir. You can't be here. But before you go, let me give you this citation and this $1,500 fine because now you owe us for your little night on our property, right?" And God forbid if you find something of value on the property because you ain't getting it. So I just thought it was wild that they would bury any victims of the pandemic on government land unless they were government property, right? You know, they always said if your mother signed your birth certificate, then you're government property. I've been hearing that since I was a youngin'. Our social security number is linked to a bank account. But I don't want to be spreading misinformation, right? Let's read what this guy has to say. He says, "Do you notice how he goes from one thing to another? That's how you know he's lying." No, I'm just full of information, sir. I got a lot of information. You bastard. I should report you, man, but I'm not. It ain't that serious. I'll let you report me instead. False information. You don't have to lie for views, you bastard. Okay, you sound like retired government. Uh-oh, the truth is coming out. Hart Island. Uh-oh. People looked it up. People are starting to dig into what I'm saying and they're finding evidence. Hart Island. Can anybody tell me though, if you found the island that I'm referring to, how many people were buried there and why? Can anybody tell me why they would bury some American citizens on government private property that you're not allowed to visit, no matter what? And if you even get caught on your way to the island, you will be arrested and hauled off to jail. Even if you said, "Well, officer, I was going to visit my mother because they told me she was buried here," they would say, "It doesn't matter. This is government property. You're not allowed to come here. You're not even allowed to be in the water that leads to this island." You know, the good part is it's 5 a.m., bro. I only got 30 minutes left. Actually, I got 32 minutes, 31 minutes, and 15 seconds. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling like I touched the hearts of many, and I'm feeling like I struck a nerve in a few. But if I was able to achieve that, man, I am happy about it. Because I'd rather strike a nerve than get no response. Because you know what they say, right? If I tell you something and you don't give no response, you're probably not alive. And if you're alive, then be happy that it's painful. Be happy. But either way it goes, though, the pandemic is over, and now we're in the midst of a whole new situation, right? I think everybody would agree to that. This is a whole new situation, right? So with that being said, what are the people gonna do? Are we gonna lay down and get mounted, or are some people gonna stand up like they say they're gonna stand up and get counted? Because in today's climate, if you in fact want to stand up, that means that you're gonna get knocked down. But if you're down, then you're gonna get mounted. Hey, Denzel Washington said this, man. Right? Shout out to Denzel Washington, man. This dude is a genius, bro. On and off of the screen. He said, "Hey, man, if you don't watch the news, you're gonna be uninformed. But if you do watch the news, you're gonna be misinformed. So you're damned if you do, and you damned if you don't." Right? That's what he said. I added the last part myself, but like, you get what he's saying, right? In other words, they want you misinformed, right? And if you're not watching the news, they don't want you to be uninformed. They want you to be misinformed. And Himothy says, we're going to get picked up by a UFO. I don't know about that, bro. If they coming, they need to hurry up because we running out of time out here. We running out of time, bro. You better look around, man. We running out of time for real. But anyways, man, it's time to say, hey, man, like and subscribe, man, because this is what we do, right? All this shit, it's for entertainment purposes only. It's up to you if you want to use it as education, but it's entertainment, man. You know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Karen, how you doing? Do you believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior? You know what, man? Yeah, I believe that. That's what I was taught. Yeah, I believe that, right? Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. Is he coming back to save everybody? That has yet to be determined in my mind. We gonna have to really see if he's coming back. Cause right now, I don't know. I don't have those kind of answers. They don't share that kind of shit on the news, man. And in the church climate these days, you can't trust the information they putting out. Most churches are paid by the government, and the government is satanic. And when you put all that shit together, it's like, what do you get? You get misinformation. Not Miss America. Misinformation is Miss America. But at any rate, hey man, if Jesus is coming, I think he needs to put a rush on it, man, cause we starving out here, man. It's like y'all remember that movie, The Langoliers, where they was at the airport and time was coming and they was trying to get the plane started and out on the runway and they just barely escaped as like the Langoliers were like these little things that chomp time. They just chomp as they go. And if you get caught in the chomps, then that's like the time that's gone forever. And so the people get on the plane and the plane just barely escapes the Langoliers, right? But I always thought when I watched that film, like, well, okay, now that they're in the air and time is steadily chomping away, where are they going? They're going to try to outrun time. Is that what they were saying? How do you outrun time? Time is at a fixed motion, but how do you outrun it though? Like the movie didn't make sense to me, but like that's what I compare what we're seeing now. Like people are trying to outrun time, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen regardless. Cali Boy says, only God has the answers and nobody and no one's answer him for what he wants, nor stands before him, I believe. Yep. I think you might be right, man. I always had a theory though, man. The reason why all this bad stuff happens to human beings is not because God's not real and it's not because he don't love us. It's because God doesn't care about your vessel necessarily. Like he loves you and your vessel, but he doesn't step in and intervene against your vessel because it's your spirit, not your vessel. Like you can get a fresh vessel, but you can't get a new spirit, right? So when you see all these things that happen to people, it's like you you think that because something may happen, oh, you break your leg or you get shot or you know, you break your neck or you wonder why did God do this? And it's like, well, God didn't do it. He just didn't step in and stop it from happening because God looks at the spirit. He doesn't look at the physical vessel other than to observe, right? And God rarely steps in, but I'm sure he makes exceptions for certain individuals. Like if how people things happen to them and they say, "Oh, it wasn't my time," or somebody says to a person that experienced a miracle, "Oh, bro, you survived because God said it wasn't your time, bro." And it could be that too. It could absolutely be that. But like, some people turn away from God because I believe that they see the things that happen and it traumatizes people and they feel like, why does God allow these things to happen? And it's like anything else, like I always say, as above, so below. God doesn't step in because he's got rules and regulations that he has to follow as well. If God stepped in for everybody who didn't want to die, then the natural order of things wouldn't flow because he would be too busy saving everybody from themselves a lot of time, right? But one thing he will always save if he can is your spirit, your soul, the energy that lives inside of your vessel, until it's time to go on to the next leg of the journey. And for me, I decided that was going to be my mindset a few years ago. So therefore, anything that happened to me didn't affect my relationship with my holy administrator, right? I was never going to look at what happened to me and say, or anyone else for that matter, all the way up into babies that are born with severe defects, right? I'm never going to look at any of those things and let them affect my relationship with the Holy Spirit because I said to myself, God steps in when it's needed and he observes for the rest of the time because God knows something that a lot of us haven't figured out yet, which is the soul is energy and energy cannot die no matter what. So just because your physical vessel may perish, that doesn't mean that your spirit perishes with your vessel and your spirit lives on and goes to other places. And the pain is only momentarily for some. And, you know, once your physical vessel dies, the pain goes with it and you're released from all responsibility of life, right? But while you're here, you're responsible for the pain and the suffering and the hardships and everything else that life throws at us, right? But God won't intervene because he knows that your spirit is going to go somewhere else, and he's got his eye on you to observe, or maybe his disciples or his angels, or I'm sure he himself doesn't sit there and just monitor everybody, right? But I do believe that, like, if you have that mindset, you'll never turn away from God, because you'll understand that you're not taking things that happen to you personally personal. You'll be of an understanding that if something happens to you, it had nothing to do with your creator. It just had to do with you being involved with a human experience. And to be clear on what I mean is, if something happens to you, then you are a spiritual being that was directly involved with a human being experience, right? So like, you're gonna have to go through the pain and the suffering and the struggles while you're going through this human experience. And God will observe, He'll observe how you get through it, you know. And like I said, in certain circumstances, the heavens will step in, right? The holy administration will absolutely step in and give you a miracle in all kind of different ways, right? Like the girl here in Michigan that in the 80s, I'm sure maybe some of y'all heard about, there was a plane crash leaving Romulus. That's the airport in Detroit, right? DTW. And everybody on board passed away except for this one girl. She was a baby at the time. And she's still alive. Like, she does interviews still and everything. She got a little tattoo of an airplane on her arm. Sole survivor, though, right? And that's been happening for a long time. Like the last plane that went down in India, right? Remember the Indian dude? He survived, right? After he fell. I don't know how. When a it, Now this is the crazy part for me. When a plane is sitting on the ground, right? The very last door, if you jumped out of that door while the plane's sitting on the tarmac, you'll probably break your legs. So if a plane is just 30 feet in the air, the door of the plane is another 25 feet in the air. So that guy fell a minimum of 50 feet and survived with just a few scratches. That could be looked at as some bullshit, or it could be looked at as a miracle, right? Who knows? But either way, we calling it a miracle, right? Just like the girl that survived the crash in Romulus back in the 80s. It was a miracle, right? The Holy Administration quite possibly could have stepped in, because these individuals haven't fulfilled who knows what. And God was like, this is a situation where these people can perish, but these particular individuals have something that they need to fulfill before they perish. So I can't allow these select individuals to perish in this way. And who know, it could be something small. It could be the mission for your life, could be that you have a epiphany moment that will change your mindset. Something small, but to us it would be small, but to the Holy Administration it could be a major development. Uh, you're heading down a path that's going to lead you to a fork in the road one day. You're going to either go left or right, but God has to keep you alive, because this is going to be like a glitch moment in the heavens. The Holy Administration doesn't know if you're going to go left or right. So they must keep you alive for that day to come. It's just something hella minute that wouldn't mean nothing to anybody, right? Because we don't know what happens on the other side of the fabric, right? We don't know what happens. We don't know nothing about it. People say they do, but they don't. And so, there's 1,000 reasons why, people survive things that, took everyone else out around them, right? But like I said, man, I've chosen to take the standpoint over the years that if something were to happen to me, I wouldn't blame God for it. I wouldn't turn away from God for it. As a matter of fact, I would pray. If I lost my ability to walk tomorrow, it wouldn't make me hate God at all in any way. I would just be like, hey, God, well, whatever happened to my ability to walk, now I'm paralyzed. What's the next thing, man? I must be due for a breakthrough thought somehow. And so people turn away from God for stuff like that though, right? They really feel like God is the reason that the world is messed up when in fact that ain't the truth. Not in my head at least. In my opinion, man is the reason that life is messed up. It's got nothing to do with God. But we're also being ruled by leaders that don't even believe in God. So picture that. Here you are, a God fearing individual. Here you are going to church. Here you are giving your life over to the care of God. And the very government that provides your lifestyle goes against the person that you love and trust with all your heart. That's the irony of life, is that what we believe our rulers don't, right? But the people that are on demon time, they're more closer to our rulers than we are, right? People that are into the witchcraft and being warlocks and the secret societies, they're more in tune with the government than we are, right? Because that's our government, man. They, like, everybody knows, it ain't even a secret. This shit was built on sorcery, thievery, rape and murder and just all the bad stuff. Like, we wouldn't even be what we were today without treachery, right? So the next time you come across a treacherous individual and you feel like you're a God fearing, God loving, faithful to the Holy Spirit individual, that treacherous person that you came across, they are more like your government than you are. And that's a cold realization that we're governed by a satanic cult of people that pays Israel a ransom just to be here. And at the end of the discussion, though, you just got to say, well, it is what it is. We're not going to question what God does or doesn't do. We're just going to keep our faith that's only the size of a mustard seed intact so we can be able to move mountains with it. And if I don't never get to move a mountain in my whole life, that ain't going to change my relationship with my creator, because it wasn't his fault. You know what was his fault? My existence. The fact that I'm here having this conversation with you guys. I like how Jason Snyder didn't say Freemason. He called him a fee mason. You got to pay a fee to the mason because they're the ones that run the show. And we all know what they represent. And if you don't, you better get in tune, because they everywhere and they're nowhere. As a matter of fact, a lot of people will tell you half this shit doesn't even exist. But hey, I mean, it's up to you. What is your perception? Where do you stand? What are you thinking about? Like, what do you hold true when people talk to you? Like, do you believe the hype? I don't know. I don't know. What's going on, Santic? Hello. You have been discovered. I see you. AJ, can you go back so you could see my previous comment? Yeah, I can do that if I can find you. I don't know how far back you made the comment, right? Did you know that during his ministry he predicted over 300 prophecies that actually came true? Now let's see who you're talking about. Do you believe Jesus Christ? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, um, I know that that's what they say, right? But did you also know that according to declassified documents, there was an African man that the government, the CIA, claimed was indestructible, and they did all kind of heinous shit to this individual, and he kept popping back up, and he was able to perform miracles like Jesus Christ. He was just a little African man living in Africa, and the whole way they even discovered the man was he was doing shit in the villages, and in poor communities, if you're anything greater than your community, they're going to snitch on you. They're going to put you on blast. There's a lot of spies living in the slums, right? Ain't that ironic? You go to the slums, to the worst ran down part of town where the drugs and the poverty and the death and desolateness, and really you're running with the spies and don't even know it. Why are there spies on the bad side of town? Because that's where the profits come from. That's where the real light workers reside. They're not in the suburbs. They're not up in the fucking high rise buildings. They keep their ear to the streets and their eyes on the slums because that's where the miracle workers are at. And that's why they get exposed every time, right? No doubt about that. But you spelled. Let me reiterate what you said, Jason. You said I go by my heart and my gut's feeling. Is your gut feeling, or you go by a gut feeling? Because as of right now, I'm assuming that you have a bad stomach that is like filling on you. So you might want to rewrite that. I got to use the restroom. Yeah, man. We got two in the chat. How about that? Jason, don't let him don't let him bag on you. Oh man, I come back to this kind of shit, man. Justin won today. Did you watch UFC? Man, let me see. What is this held in review message? Oh, is that right? Let's put that out there for everyone to see. Always talking about my forehead. What's the irony of you talking about my forehead though? If you have a girlfriend, she thinks I'm handsome. Do you think that your girl cares about my forehead? No, she doesn't care. Super, what's going on, man? She doesn't care about my forehead, man. You care about my forehead. This whole time, my mic been off. I hope that people were able to hear everything I was saying, because I just realized that the mic was not on. How you doing, Super? I said it when the mic was off. Now it's on. G.I. Joe wants to know my body count, man. You know what? G.I. Joe, we don't talk about stuff like that, man. Yeah, I know. That's what your girl said, man. It's easy for a guy to bag, but let's hear what your lady got to say. That's where the joke will become on you. Let your girl speak about the forehead. That's all she gon' Hey, but you know what? It's all good though. Cause you cats ain't got no girls. That's why you talking about me. My grandfather practiced juju magic. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, hey. Some people do that. A lot of people do that, in fact. So doesn't surprise me at all that people out here doing sorcery and witchcraft and black magic and voodoo and hoodoo and all them dark arts. Somebody got to do it, right? That's the way I look at it. It's there for a reason. It's known about for a purpose. Somebody got to do it. Somebody has to do it, bro. I'm complimenting your forehead, bro. Relax. Oh, absolutely. Well, I wasn't necessarily talking about anybody giving me a compliment. Um, Super says that he is quite bored since he doesn't have any more exams in school, and it's the reason he's up late, also early. And you know, hey, let me just humor you guys real quick. Let me just humor you guys real quick. You see that scar right there? You can see it when I turn my head. There's a scar right there, right? This up here, that's from having the chicken pox. But this right here, this and this, can anybody guess how I got that? Okay, I know you don't know. I got hit in the head with the cover of a back of a toilet where you work on it at. You know the big porcelain piece that you got to remove to fix your toilet? I got hit in the head by one right there. Gashed my forehead open. Lucky for me, I had a hard head, so it didn't damage my skull, it just damaged the skin. I was running at full speed through my house when I was a child, man, and I was gonna push the bathroom door open. And I lived in a type of situation where the bathroom was the last door directly forward at the end of a hallway. So you didn't have to turn to go into the bathroom, it was straight ahead. And someone was in the bathroom, right? Yeah, I went to the hospital, and it was like the most diabolical perfect timing ever. Right when I reached the door to push it open, it flew open, and when my feet hit the linoleum floor, I slid and boom, collided with the back of the toilet, and pretty much knocked me unconscious. If I was you, I would just say it was God. Right? Yeah, I know, because everything is funny. I peeped the LOL. That's all I saw after your statement was the LOL. You know, the statement plus the LOL lets me know that cooking for stoners is just a goofy, like the Disney Channel. A goofy. But at any rate, man, like and subscribe to the channel, bro. It's your last opportunity, man. I spoke my piece. Anybody who been with me since the beginning, which I doubt, they will have been enlightened. The rest of you guys gonna have to catch me on the next